morning, everyone. This is Jamerica from Jamerica Life. So today we are going to have a garden update. Let's get to it. Well, we have a lot of stuff on our grow table, and our grow table has grown quite a bit. It's a little rainy out here today, but most of this is herbs and asparagus. These asparagus have to be upplanted within the next week, so that will be a coming video. Ground cherries, I gotta get them in the ground. This is a bell pepper. From inside it started turning yellow, so I brought it outside, and guess what? It's turning green. That's basil, more basil. This is a bell pepper. Bell peppers take quite a long time to get to this point, so start your bell peppers because you're not going to see these jokers they're not going to sprout. Well, most likely they won't sprout for about 2 weeks. Don't give up on them. If you put them in some soil, it's going to take you about 2 weeks to see everything. This right here is lemon cucumbers. Not to put this in the ground. There are 3 of them in here. And this is not from that company. I grew this myself. That's another basil. The thing about growing your own or starting your own seeds is that you get an abundance of plants. It's not in a short period of time, but I feel like it's worth it. Example, this is a moringa I started in January, and I have 4 of them here. See that? And this is a tomato plant, and look, this was started approximately maybe 60 days ago, and it's just trellising it across the ground. Flowers are all over it. There are also some that I have overwintered. There are people who will tell you that tomatoes are annuals, but this tomato plant, the one that you can barely see the flowers, this one is going on 2 years. And so is this basil. Basil can get huge. See how big that is? There's mostly trees in here, and there's a couple of trees that I need to take out. Barbados cherries are back there, and there's a couple of lemon trees. Eureka lemon is right here. And you put the stuff in here, you think that it's not going to grow and it's not going to bear fruit. That is also not true. So if you can afford it, get a greenhouse if you live, especially if you live in a cold climate. I put a garage heater in here over winter, and everything survived. I'm starting to clear this stuff out. I have a couple of things that I need to move, like these dragon fruit. They need to move, but I think I'm gonna leave the Barbados cherries in here because they seem to like it. You see them little pink flowers? That's where Barbados cherries come in. There's 2 of them in here. I always buy 2 or more of the same tree or the same species because I only have 1 Eureka lemon, but there's lemon trees around it, so it pollinates. Apparently, so does the tomatoes and the basil. Look at the basil, man. Look at this basil. And that's just 1 plant. And it's all over the place. And this is just 1, no, it's 2 tomato plants. There's 1 that are blueberry tomatoes. Aren't those pretty? And then there's 1 that are Roma tomatoes. So I guess they're pollinating each other one. And then there's another cherry tomato, of course, that I just showed you out here. This is a thyme. This thyme has been around for, I don't know, years, 3, 4, 5 years, I don't know. Lemongrass, I bought this, I think it was either from the seeds. Most of the things are from seeds here. This is lemongrass, right? And also an herb, and it tastes so good. I need to trim it back because it's getting huge. And this lemongrass was started from seeds. They give you extra seeds because they say lemongrass is hard to pollinate. Well, I didn't have that experience. Look at that lemongrass. Doesn't look like it came from the store. I know you see a pot here, but this pot is from a ficus? Look at that. It's not a lemongrass. I did not buy this. I started it from seed, and I always start my seeds in the house. Always. Reason that I start in the house. And sometimes starting them in the house gives you little problems like this. When they turn yellow, that means that I need to get it in the ground because they're running out of space in this little pot. Look at the bottom. See that? There's roots coming out of the bottoms. So that means it needs to be up potted. But sometimes when you grow them inside, you know, you run out of space. That's the main thing. But if you start them outside, well, the bugs get to them. This is an artichoke. And I'm so glad I started this artichoke because my other one passed away. Yeah. Chamomile is here. These are my tree collards, and I have a couple of onions in there. I did put some snail bait in there because, as you can see, they were starting on my tree collards. No, 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 no. So it seems like Miss Jamaica planted 2 plats of kale, because there's another one right here. I gotta get these in the ground. I'm gonna line the house with it so that I can water around my house, and then I can water my vegetables at the same time. But I have this one, and I almost had an escape beast, and I had this one. I think they came from the same one. Yeah, I remember planting it now because some of them couldn't fit. Some of them were too big, so I put them in these, and the smaller ones I put in the planter. So I remember. It's all coming back now. Moving on. Here's some celery from last year. I have 3 of them here. These are blueberries. This is my calamundan. Calamundan one number 1 and calamundan number 2. This one is full of fruit. Full of fruit. This is Scotch bonnet. Yay! This was overwintered, so I'm gonna have that. I have some new ones that I planted, but that's one of them. That's lavender. Here's another collard, and I put some beans in here. And guess what? They're starting to show up. My beans are showing up, which means the ones in the ground are probably doing just as well. This is my caracaras. I put them in pots. I think we did this together. I got these over the internet. And make sure I'm saying the right thing. I still left the tags on it to hold it up. Yeah, they're caracaras. You see how I put these on, but I put them on super loose because they were bending over. So until they get strong, I'm gonna hold them up. That's a bell pepper plant. That's another bell pepper plant. These bell pepper plants were overwintered. They are 2 years old and they're producing bell peppers, which is why I keep them. I keep them because they produce before the new ones. See what the bug damage did? So I pulled this outside and this one seems to be doing better. I put out some snail bait for the slugs and snails because this is what they do. I don't think this plant's gonna make it, so I'm just gonna pull it out. There is another bell pepper plant that is now producing bell peppers. This one is also about 2 years old. Of course, that is my wow, I can't remember now. Get it together, girl. This is my moringa, one of my moringas that I planted from seed. And guess what I did? I had a whole bunch of seeds. So I am going to have a yard sale with some moringas because I wasn't gonna let my seeds go bad. So I just put them in this big old plat. I also ate a cocoa fruit, and I put the seeds in here. It takes about 5 weeks and it's only been about 1. So I'll just wait on that. Another bell pepper plant, a different type that I overwintered. You can see that the bugs were getting to this one, but they'll all do better now that I put some bait down. And these are all of my trees. All of my trees. I had one tree that I pulled out of the ground that was not doing well. I'm going to move this to the other side of the yard because I believe it's bad mojo. I don't think it's still alive. So I'm going to get it out of here. This one is a Shinseki pear. There we are. Let me not pull that tight. I got to loosen that bag up. This one is a Satsuma plum tree, and all of these were bare roots with the exception of the 2 Hass avocados in the back. And those right there are the Hass avocados. Then I got some asparagus I need to get out of the pails. I got some small plum trees over here, and this one is another, I think, Satsuma. Let me see. No, it's a burgundy plum. And this tag is getting tight, so I don't know. I need to take it, loosen it up a little bit. Okay, so they grow really quick. There's some back here. I have a whole bunch of trees. These are all bare roots, and I'm not planting them until fall. They're not going in the ground till fall. These are my taro. Yes, they come up every year. If you live in zone 8 or higher, I'm in 9, just leave them in the ground or leaving them in the container and they will come up. I had a lady who told me that they were some other kind of fruit. She obviously doesn't know what she's talking about. I bought them from the supermarket and it said taro. You know, maybe people would get, legal action if they sold something at the supermarket and, marked it wrong. Anyway, there's trolls everywhere. Some people are just haters. So I told you all I put down some bait and hopefully it stops them from eating my crops. So I got my Swiss chard here. I'm gonna put some kale out here also to fill in the blank spots because there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. I need to put some more fertilizer out here and bring them back up to par. I've been feeding my chickens the Swiss chard a lot, and this is Swiss chard. Swiss chard is really good, really good. I need to start eating it more and give my chickens less. But I come out here every morning and give them some Swiss chard every morning. And this is what you call deadhead. You see when your rose looks like that? Pull it off. That's how you keep them going. I got to come out here and delineate or cut down some of this stuff. As long as you deadhead your roses, they will continue to bloom. Here is some asparagus. This one is doing good. This is probably a female though. That's asparagus. It's doing well in the garden. There's another one here. So I think I'm going to put some more in here. A couple of cabbages I pulled from the fall garden that was over there. We'll get to that in a minute. This is some Laciano kale. Look at that. They are so pretty. And against the mustards, it's the mustard right here. Mustards grow huge. Mustards grow huge, and this is it right here. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? I don't know what I planted out here, but it's trailing up. Let me make sure there's not a weed head hiding in here. Yep, there is. There's always weeds hiding in between some of the plants. I know I need to weed. Y'all see it. I know. Here are some tomato plants I put out here. They are going to flower, which means I should be getting fruit real soon. I have them staked up. Can't see the stake, but it's right here. And I got these little clips from the Dollar Tree. So I have 2 or 3 of them out here. Yeah, I got 3 of them out here. 3 of them out here that are going to flower. This is my apricot tree. That's apricot tree number 1. And when you have plants and they see that, you got a new plant, they get jealous. So they start trying to take the light from the apricot tree. But that's one apricot tree. And right here is the other one we planted a couple of weeks ago on film. Yes, it's so beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's head back and then we'll work our way around. So I've already harvested the seeds from here. I'm getting ready to eat. I'm going to either pull this up. I think I'm going to pull it up because it's going to start spreading the wrong kind of seed. I've started taking these pods off and harvesting the seeds. But I think I have enough broccoli seeds. I know I got enough broccoli seeds. So I'm just going to cover this thing up and I'm going to plant something else there later on down the line. I do have some brassicas that apparently that's cauliflower. Trying to come back. There was a rabbit's nest there. But all this stuff, I guess I'm going to pull it up. I'm just going to pull it up. I got enough seeds. This is my sweet potato patch. I told you all yesterday that sweet potatoes will grow anywhere. And here's where I start them. And y'all saw yesterday on that short, if you didn't look for the short, sweet potatoes will grow anywhere. I had them in a little itty bitty planter and I found 4 small sweet potatoes, but they were sweet potatoes, which means they're not like regular potatoes. These are the regular potatoes. I recommend you put those in the ground because I've tried these in containers and they don't do well. However, sweet potatoes are not the same as regular potatoes. They're different. I think they're different species. I got to look it up. Don't quote me. But sweet potatoes, put them in your 5-gallon buckets as slips. So you take these little things off, right? When they get a little bit bigger than this, that's why it's still on there, right? You take them off, If they're already rooted, because some of these, if you put them in the container, they'll draw roots here, and then you could just plant it. You don't have to put it in water. But if it does not already have roots, see that? That one has roots on it. If it does not already have roots, put it in a bottle of water like you would do a tomato plant or any other cutting. Wait till it gets roots and then plant it. And you can plant it in containers, and I'm not going to guarantee it, but more than likely you will get some sweet potatoes. Watch my little short. You'll see. You'll see what happened. This is sage. I'm going to put this in the ground. That's why it's over here. These pineapple plants are not doing well, so I'm going to put them in the ground. They seem to have started turning yellow, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to... Oh, they're still strong. They'll make it. There's a bean plant. That is a basil plant, and I planted some marigolds around here to alleviate some of the bugs. I didn't know potato plants had flowers. All I did was went to, one of the big box stores or one of the stores, and I bought seed potato, and look. And I put some bone meal out here when I planted them. That's another thing. This is the mixed crop. You see that down there? Let me see if I can focus in. See that? That's for the snails, because look, and that's for the snails, some of that stuff, because they were eating my stuff. And I had treated out here before, so I said, okay, I'm gonna fix you guys. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you what you've been looking for, trouble. So that's what I did. That's how it is. So this right here is sorrel. This is all mixed. This is sorrel. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them somewhere. There's another one over here. This is okra that I planted from seed. All of this is from seed. You know how much money I saved doing it myself? Now there was an expense. I had to buy the potting soil and the seeds. But looking at the prices of seedlings right now, they're running for $5 on up. No, I didn't buy any of them. I bought the seed potatoes, and I bought, what else did I buy? I bought the onion, because the onions help fight off the bugs. And I got most of those for real cheap. So I bought one at full price, but the other ones I got for 76 cents. This is a eggplant. And then I think this is some delicata squash. Put some more squash in here. I know some of y'all say that you shouldn't do this because it depletes the soil, but I'll just keep on giving it extra fertilizer. That's all I'll do. The onions are doing fabulous. Look at this. See that? That's onions and okra. They are doing wonderful. Then I have a couple of tomato plants here, right here. These are small tomato plants. They'll be fine. They get really big. And here, jalapenos. And guess what I have? Jalapenos. They're here already. They are here already. I started all of my stuff in January and February. Well, a lot of it. The house was a little bit of a mess until I got my grow station. And then it was on and popping. This is the squash and the watermelon patch. My project for this week, I have to write a to-do list, is to run some fabric across on both sides so that I don't have the weeds, because they'll grow anyway, but then I'll have a weed problem, and I don't want that, because we have varmints out here, rodents and snakes. I hate to say it because I'm walking out here with my chunklers on. Put some more onions out here to line this bed. See that? I know onions don't completely deter them, but it helps a little bit. Right here, I have my trees. Let me see. These are nectarine trees. That is a plum tree. This is an apricot tree. This is the plum tree. The other one passed away, so I only have one plum tree. This is an apricot tree. And this is my peach tree, full of peaches. So both of them are. This is on its second year, and it's producing. Let me see if this one's ready. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Look at that, look at that. I'm always afraid to pick them in front of the birds because I feel like they're watching me. So I got my little snack for today. See those red flowers back there? I got birds overhead. That's my pomegranate. That joker is putting out this year. And so are my fig trees. My fig trees have gotten big. Big. Gotta go in here and weed though, because he won't cut it because I have asparagus in here and he doesn't want to cut down my asparagus, so I have to do this by hand. But my fig trees are doing well. Unfortunately, I can't say I've ever had a fig, but look at my pomegranate tree. And I have a whole bunch of this. This one is about, I don't know, 10, 15 years old. And last year, I have a video where I pruned it down, but apparently that just made it grow bigger. Let me back up. Yep. It grew bigger because it used to be a delineating space. See what that tub is? That used to be blank. So, oh well. Here's my figs. Behind me is a mulberry tree. She's beautiful. I have that on film too if you want to see me planting the mulberry tree. It's raining out here. Let me take you over to the other garden real quick. We're going to do a quick walkthrough. There are a few pomegranates. Let's go. Let's go past the birds since we're over here. There are figs. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get some figs today. Well, this time. I'm going to get some figs. There they are. Oh man, I'm so happy. I am so happy. My neighbor's dog, I'm afraid of him. He know I jump fences. So let's go down Raggedy Lane. I do not own this fence. Don't talk about me. I do have a raggedy fence, but this one does not belong to me. I put up the well wire so my dogs don't go over there. So, you remember all those snails? There's still a few, like this one right here. I didn't put any bait out here, but I think I got most of the population out here. Though that is a pomegranate tree. That's a pomegranate tree. That's a pomegranate tree. That's a pomegranate tree. Oh, and that's a pomegranate tree. So there are 5 of them over here. I was thinking about putting the figs over here. I have 2 new figs that I was thinking about putting right over here. But I have to think about it because I want to grow my tomatoes and cucumbers right here along the fence. Hopefully my chickens don't eat them all. So let's go back to the other side. Oh, and there's one grape tree that made it, my grapevine. I didn't think I was going to get any grapes, but there's one that held on. It's right here. I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. I have to clean this up too, because my pathway, I need this pathway. I put the leaves out for the birds, but the wind is blowing it in the wrong direction. Look at them. They're just so peaceful. Look at that. I hatched these 9 in January. Let me see. 3, 6, 9. Yep. That's them. Then there's 2 on the outskirts. Well, a couple of them. They're all barred rocks because you know my barred rock been busy. I ain't bothering you, child. Let's keep on going. This is a tore up trash can that I'm going to use for compost. It's full of water. I got to put some stuff in there before the mosquitoes, or put some mosquito bits in there before the mosquitoes get me. More onions right there. Let's move on. Lime tree is doing well. I told you those darn snails, man. Did I put poison out here? I need to, because look at them. That's where they live. I think I did put poison out here because they look like they ain't doing too good. I'm gonna put some more out because that's where they live. They go up into the trees. They go up into my trees and tear things up. That is a pecan tree. Just like, I walk right by this pecan tree. Ooh, don't fall down, Jamaica. That is another pecan tree. And the third one is right there. Right there, but we'll go over there in a minute. My apple trees have finally started blossoming. It's raining a little bit out here. Well, it's drizzling. Just trying to get through this. So there is one of my apple trees, and that's my second one. I have to come out here and water them. I think I have a friend who can probably run a water line out here through from the side all the way out here so that I can get to all of these trees. I don't want to pay for irrigation because I feel like that's too expensive, and this ground shifts a lot. So there's that. Here's my other peach tree, loaded, 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 loaded. Something was getting on them though. Something was getting on them, and stealing was mine. But they're doing good. Think I'm gonna come out here and take them all off, or take all of the ones that look like they're blushing off. These are the trees that I covered. Look at this. Look. Looky, 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 looky. Look at all those fruit. Yeah. It was all worth it covering that stuff up. Let's go out here. Here's my other pecan tree. Right? I already showed you the 2 apricot trees. That's 1 and that's 2. And the third one is right there. Right there. So there's 1. Let's go from 1, 2, 3. They're in wind distance, I feel. This is a peach tree that I got from the supply store. It was bare roots. I didn't think it was gonna make it, but it did. It's been around for a long time, but it seems to be doing better. Seems to be doing better. Here's my other, let me see, what is this? A lemon tree. No, this is a lime tree. I covered it with that tent. A lot of it, broke off or died back, but it didn't die all the way down. And where it didn't die down, it's getting stronger. Next time I'll cover with plastic and tent it. There go my snails hiding under my big old peach tree. Look at this. See the peaches? Let me see if I get you a picture. This is a huge peach tree. This peach tree has been around for, how long has it been here? Over 15 years. I think it's beautiful. I think it's so beautiful, and it's producing. I didn't think we were gonna have enough winter this year, but apparently we did. Look how green that joker is. Whew. Beauty, beautiful, beautiful. There are birds that live in there. There's a bird's nest right. Let me see if I don't want to disturb her too much, but because she gets mad. But she comes back every year. Let me see if I can find her. Here she is. Here she is. All right, mosquitoes are starting to bite me, so I gotta hurry up. Pears. That's a pear tree. That's a pear tree. And that's a pear tree. You want to put your pears close to one another, because they won't give you any fruit if you don't do that. I have to get another one of these. I hope this is a Bartlett. I don't know. I bought this from the Tractor Supply store, and I should have bought 2. I didn't, and I didn't keep the label, so I got to find out what kind of pear tree is and get another one. These are all of my Eureka lemon trees, all of them. And then this is one of the plots that I need to clean up. But I got my beans in here, got my callaloo in here, I got my kale in here. The kale looks bad. This kale is from last year. I'm just gonna pull it up. Ah, man, should I pull it up? Look how bad they got me. I mean, they really got me. Anyway, sweet potato patch is right here. I have to think about this one. I might just pull these up, compost them. And then I got my tomatoes over here that are already producing. See that? Tomatoes are everywhere. All the way back there. So, let's go back around. Here's another little patch, mixed patch I put together. A little something, a little mix. I just have to gate it off because we've been accidentally running the hose and hitting it. So, I have to do something. Look at all them gnats. They're all over the place. They're all over. I knew the bugs were going to be bad this year. Here's some more tomatoes. Here's some more tomatoes that I tried to stake up, but apparently they, they beat up the stakes. That's another piece of callaloo. That's callaloo bush. I I treated this because they were eating this all up. So we'll see what happens with that. That is more callaloo right there. Callaloo. This is a blood orange that I have to dig up. I have to dig this thing up because it's not getting enough sun and it's not going to do well. There's some more Swiss chard, banana bushes that I have to replant. They are blowing up. Look at them. Some people call it banana trees. Where I'm from, they call it banana bush. Once a banana stalk produces fruit, that stalk will never produce fruit again. It'll have to be one of the pups that develop the fruit. So some more asparagus over here. The asparagus in the ground seems to be doing a lot better. Let me show you something. See that? I planted that ground cover and I cannot get rid of it. I keep on trying to get rid of it, but it won't work. And last but not least, here's my Hass avocados. Oh, and the last one should be my my lime tree that last year I had to cut it all the way back. But this year it's doing way better. It's filling back out. I don't think it's giving me any fruit, but I do not care as long as it is doing better. It's reaching for the sky. So this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I hope you all enjoy this. Things are not gonna always be perfect. Sometimes it's gonna look like that over there. But you just keep on trying and keep on holding on. And things always, what did I say, the darkest moment or the darkest hour is just before dawn. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. Thank you for being with me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.